Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Cuz You Don't Know Football. Yo, we just finished up with the Kansas City Texans game. We have a lot to go in with that. But we about to jump in here. We about to get my boy Mike in here. And we gonna see what's going on with these actual factuals, man. We've been breaking down a lot of these games. And we're gonna see what's going on with him. As you can see, he's coming over. He's getting there.
Friend.
Mike, can you hear us?
Yeah, yeah. Hear me?
I can hear you, man. Welcome back, man. You've been away too long, man. What's
Yeah,
going
it's
on your end?
good to see you, man. I appreciate to come on again.
We had to get you back after the last episode, man. We had to get you back.
Appreciate
So,
that, man.
of course, we're getting through these week 14 games. I was just telling the audience, we're just getting through these week 14 games, and we're going to talk about who's going to get in and out. I think we're now at the point in the season where let me just tell you how we do the whole show from the very beginning. We start off uh with the off season, with the draft, with free agency, looking at what's going on. Then we look at training camp, seeing how who's meshing, injuries that may happen. Then we start talking about the season, and we get in there, and then we talk about who's doing what, who's surprising, who's doing it. Now we at the point where we're saying who's about to get in and who's about to get out. So I'm really excited about this part of the season, man. I love this part, and there's a lot going on at the end of the season too. So
It flew by though, didn't it?
I'm telling you, but the funny thing is, it's still like another like 2 months, 2.5 months of
Yeah,
football. But
yeah,
but the regular season did fly by. I'm not gonna lie.
exactly.
All right, cool. So I'd say let's start back before we even get to the game. Of course, I was just telling them that we just finished watching the the Texans and the Chiefs game. We were
Yeah.
just talking about that. But let's reach back a little bit. The Cowboys, of course, they lost to the Detroit Lions. Was that in Detroit or was that in Dallas? I think that was in Dallas, right?
It was in.
Either way, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Um, they lost. Detroit Lions beat the Dallas Cowboys, 44-30.
a lot of kicks, a lot of field goal kicking by Dallas.
A lot of field goal kicking, but they did what they had to do. So, starting with the Cowboys, of course, we always say the losing team stats first. Dak Prescott was 31 to 47, 376 yards, one touchdown, two picks. The man was sacked 5 times. He had a 79.7 passer rating. Um, Javante Williams had 17 carries for 67 yards and a touchdown. And then CeeDee Lamb had 6 receptions for 121 yards, but he actually got injured in the game. And
Yeah,
then a new name for me, Ryan what's his name? Flournoy?
well,
Flournoy.
yeah.
9 receptions, 115 yards and a touchdown.
Pickens was a no-show.
Yeah, I was just about to say Pickens had 37 yards receiving.
Yep,
Let's see what they did defensively. They had a sack. They had one sack and no picks. So
defense.
going over to the Lions. Jared Goff was 25 or 34 for 309 yards, one touchdown, no picks. He had one sack. He had a 111 passer rating. David Montgomery had 60 yards rushing. He had a rushing
Um,
touchdown as well. And
um,
then Jameer Gibbs had 43 yards rushing, but he had 3 rushing touchdowns. Um, Jameson Williams had 7 receptions for 96 yards. No touchdowns for him. Um, Isaac Tesla had the receiving touchdown, and defensively, DJ Reed had the pick. They did they have any sacks? They had 3 sacks from Alkeem Muhammad. That's dope, man. They had 3 sacks from him, and so they had 4 sacks 5 sacks in the game and a pick.
yeah.
So I know this game was back on Thursday, but what happened in this game, man? Let us know what's up.
I would say, Dallas came in hot, right?
Hmm.
Whether they were home or away. That's irrelevant right now. But they came in hot. But the thing is, their defense is absolutely awful. Their offense is good, but Pickens, since week one, after week one, has been hot, and
Hmm.
they took away Pickens, and I just think that Dallas's offense with the Lions' defense and offense, you had too much Montgomery, too much Gibbs, power and speed, and then they play action to open up the passing led to with and they beat them without St. Brown. Dallas is now
No, no, St. Brown
looking,
played. I'm around St. Brown played.
yeah, but I'm saying injured. You know what I mean? He
Yes,
played, but
yes, yes, yes.
wasn't a big factor. I meant, yeah, apologize. Yeah. So you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, Dallas is now basically not going to make the playoffs. Detroit has a chance to make the playoffs, but they have, um, Green Bay and the Bears, which we'll get into later.
So, yes, the Cowboys, I definitely feel as though they grew into a team that was basically George Pickens was their number one options and not CD Lamb. Kind of saw that coming. A lot of people are really big on CD Lamb. I'm not one of those people. I think he's very good, very talented. I just think his name got thrown into a league that he's not in. Um, with that said, yeah, I saw this coming. Even when the Cowboys like won what they won three straight. Even when that happened, I kind of saw this coming. They messed up too much going into the season. This is classic. This is classic Cowboys. You know, they show you what you need to see to believe in them, but
Yeah,
they're gonna then miss the playoffs. You know,
they always let you down.
I actually think they messed up where they messed up. If they were gonna do what they did with their defense, why trade Micah Parsons? That's the kind of moves that the Cowboys make that I don't always get. And it always ends up, that's why they're always a step short. If you're going to do all this with his defense, you keep Micah Parsons and you still can do all this. Now, what does his defense look like? But
Should have
I
paid him.
digress. Not my team. I digress. They do what they do.
They
Now,
should-
for the Lions, I'm very interested to see them in their playoff situation. Right now, it looks good for them to make the playoffs. I think if the playoffs start today, they'd be out of it. But
Yes.
the only way that I'm seeing them getting in is through the 49ers.
And we're
49ers
gonna
got to
talk.
start dropping some games, which I've been kind of looking at to happen. It just hasn't gone that way. But I've been
We're
waiting
gonna
for the
talk about
49ers to
them.
start losing games, but it looks good. I will look at the 49ers schedule as we're talking just because I want to kind of see who they're playing
Yeah,
in
you wanted to
on
talk
that
about
end.
them too as well. So
Okay. All right, cool, cool. Very good, very good. All right. So let me refresh this. You know, when I look at because I always look at the scores on Google. If you don't refresh it, it gets weird, man. I don't
yeah.
understand it. It gets really weird. So either way. All right. Colts Jags.
Ooh,
My Colts, my Colts, my Colts.
your boy.
Um, we lost today. We lost a lot today, actually. Uh, but we lost to the the Jacksonville Jaguars beat the Indianapolis Colts 36-19. Let's see. Daniel Jones was 5 of 7 for 60 yards. We will get into that. Um, Riley Leonard actually came into the game and he was 18 and 29 for 145 yards, no touchdowns, and a pick. Jonathan Taylor was 21. He had 21 carries for 74 yards and a touchdown. And Riley Leonard also had a rushing touchdown. Rookie Riley Leonard, by the way. Um,
Yep.
what's his name? Alec Pierce. Alec Pierce, he had 5 receptions for 80 yards. There was no passing touchdowns. Michael Pittman Jr. had 9 receptions for 79 yards. And defensively, did we have any sacks? We had no sacks, no interceptions. Yeah,
That's not good.
that's not good. Trevor Lawrence, he was 17 to 30 for 244 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. He had 105 passer rating. Um, Travis Etienne led them with 20 carries for 74 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. Brian Thomas Jr. had 3 receptions for 87 yards. He did not have a touchdown. However, Tim Patrick had a receiving touchdown. He also had 78 yards receiving. And Jacoby Myers, who has actually filled in pretty well for them, he has a receiving
Great.
touchdown.
Yep.
Now, of course, they had the pick. Did they have any sacks? They had 1 sack. Neither way. You mind if I go first on this one?
Absolutely.
So,
Your
of course, I,
team.
I held that off. So I held off. Riley Leonard came into the game because Daniel Jones actually tore his Achilles and is going to be done for the year now.
So bad.
I'm very impressed with how I'm very impressed with how Daniel Jones went out because he went out trying to he put his body on the line and everything for his team and everything like that. He had a small fracture in one ankle and basically tore the Achilles in the other one, compensating for not wanting to do wrong with that. So I get that. Um, we may not win another game this year now. Uh, and it says a lot about signing Daniel Jones because I wasn't against it, but I really felt like this might present a ceiling that we didn't want, and I think that started to show. I think where we messed up when we got Sauce Gardner, who's also hurt by the way, when we got Sauce Gardner, I thought we should have doubled down and also gotten another pass rusher. And I felt like when we did not do that, we were forfeiting the season anyway. So I'm not overly what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not overly sad or mad at the outcome that's going on. I'm mad that we had some promise at the beginning of this year, starting off 8-2 and gonna probably be 8-9 is gonna be nuts.
Yeah.
So either way, I want to say good season to the Colts. I know it's not over yet technically, but this is done. And I really am excited to see the Jaguars and the Texans, both of those two teams in the playoffs, and I really want to see what they can do in the playoffs. I'm not hating on anybody today,
No,
but yeah, this is a rough day for me and Indianapolis Colts.
yeah. No, that was a great, perfect take. I mean, first off, I feel bad for Daniel Jones because he will be a free agent and he was having a great season. Um, but I think this is more about the Jacksonville Jaguars at this point. Jonathan Towers having a great season for the Colts, and that opened up the passing game for the players, for the wide receivers on the Colts, like Pierce and others. So now they got Jacoby Myers with the trade. He's had like a touchdown, I think, in every game since he's
Mm-hmm.
played.
Mm-hmm.
He's came in
Been,
well.
been really good.
BTJ, they got BTJ, they got Brenton Strange, they have Ante. I mean, this offense is looking good, and if their defense can keep up, I think that they can be a well-rounded team come playoff time, and I think they do make the playoffs.
The only annoying thing about the Jaguars is that seriously, like we're talking like they've had names and it'd be like, all right, we expect them to do something. They just haven't done it. So if they can
Exactly.
figure it out, they're a good. This roster is really good. You know what I mean?
Really,
Like
really good.
the roster's really good. We're waiting for Trevor Lawrence to be what he was drafted to be. He ain't been that and still got paid. I, I would love to see it. Let's see it.
Yeah, that's it. Put the money where the mouth is. But I
So,
agree, 110%.
so
Yeah,
moving on, and I'm not gonna lie to you. I was all right. Let me just say it. Buffalo Bills beat the Cincinnati Bengals, and let
that's
me
a
tell
great
you
team.
something. Let me tell you, I was rooting for the Bengals too.
Me
And let me
too.
say
Me
that
too.
I was,
Me
and I
too.
said the Bengals were going to win. I
Me
was
too.
rooting for the Bengals to pull this off.
Joe Burrow. I was rooting for them, and I'm right with you. I was
Yeah,
rooting hard.
yeah. So so Joe Burrow. So on the Bengals. Okay, wait. I took a step forward. So the Bills won 39-34 against the Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow was 25 of 36, 284 yards, four touchdowns, and two picks. He also had a sack. He had 106 passer rating. They've really had nothing on the ground. Samaje Perine had 31 yards rushing. That was basically it. However, Chase Brown did have a rushing touchdown, but he only had 23 yards rushing. T. Higgins had six receptions for 92 yards and two touchdowns. Mike Krzyzewski had six receptions for 86 yards and a touchdown. And yeah, not really a lot from Jamar Chase, who only had 44 yards receiving.
They
Now,
were double.
defensively, yeah, it was taking him away. So defensively, they had one sack, two sack, three sacks. They had about three sacks and no picks, but some forced fumbles. So Josh Allen was 22 of 28, 251 yards, three touchdowns, no picks. He was sacked three times and still didn't have any picks. 139.7 passer rating. James Cook had 18 carries for 80 yards, no rushing touchdown, but Josh Allen also had 78 yards rushing and the rushing touchdown. Dawson Knox had six receptions for 93 yards, no touchdowns. Dalton Kincaid, however, did have a receiving touchdown. And we pretty much are moving that way. Yeah, man. So
Uh,
very exciting game. Very exciting game.
it was a great game.
Yeah,
Uh,
tell me about it. Tell us about it.
Bengals basically started off hot. But every third down, first down, they would get a first down. They got up, they got the lead.
Hmm.
But one thing about the Bengals that we all know is their defense is awful. Joe Burrow is a good quarterback, but what happened was the Cincinnati Bengals defense against tight ends is the worst. And when they have Kincaid, they have
And
Knox.
on
I
Knox,
think
yeah.
yeah, Knox had I think a 2 point conversion. Halls had a 2 point conversion. Kincaid scored a touchdown. Josh Allen got hot. Then Joe Burrow, he threw that interception that got tipped. Then and then and then another interception, and then things went south. Josh Allen does what he does. Joe Burrow's elite. He is my favorite quarterback. I will admit that, but it's another season where they had to win every game again from an injury. He's a comeback of the year player twice. Got to a Super Bowl. Josh Allen hasn't. Lamar Jackson hasn't. Beat Patrick Mahomes, but that was how long ago?
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, and this effectively ends the Bengals season, by the way. I
Exactly.
mean, with 9 losses, they're not going to be in the
No,
playoffs.
they had to. It was a must-win game.
Yes, yes, yes. So many things that I like about the Bengals roster. I think they're definitely formed incorrectly, but a lot of things I do like about their roster. One of the biggest things I think T Higgins is actually being his like I'm not saying his career is going to waste being in Cincinnati, but
He could be a number one somewhere.
I would love for T Higgins to be my number one wide receiver. You
I
know,
was just
I would
yeah,
love for T Higgins to be
100%.
my number one wide receiver. I just think the man is so talented, and with Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow and everybody there, it's kind of hard to like stand out as a true number one. Now, very big win for the Bills. Very good win for the Bills, I must say. This was a gutsy win. But I've been calling this. I think for the rest of the regular season, the Bills are going to look good. They're going to show you the reasons why they can go to the Super Bowl.
Can I
And
ask you a question?
go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
All right, I didn't mean to interrupt. But the inconsistency from the last time that we had, did this. Now, do you still think that will happen going forward?
Okay, good question. So I do once again, I think they're going to show you everything that you need to see for as a team who can go to the Super Bowl. And playing against anybody, they can beat anybody. They have the game to beat anybody singularly. The
I agree.
question that you're kind of asking without asking it is, can they do that 3 straight times? So
Yeah,
you
yeah,
asked me the inconsistency, the up and down. So
yeah.
Josh Allen is still Superman. I'm still waiting. Now I watched maybe one game where Josh Allen really wasn't Superman. He had like a B+ game, but they still played. They still won that game. I look at the Bills and I say when Josh Allen isn't Superman, they look to lose. It's, it's too unfair to look at. Excuse me. It's too unfair to look at Josh Allen and say, "Listen, if you're not going to play an A+ game for 3 straight games, that is your fault." And I feel as though when it happens, because I am saying they're going to
Yeah.
lose in the playoffs. When it happens, they're going to look at Josh Allen and say, "This is somehow some part his fault or something." And I'm going to look at you like you're crazy. This roster, when you talk about the inconsistencies, the roster is not set up to be consistent.
Yeah,
They're good
good
pretty
take.
much everywhere, but outside of quarterback, they're not great at the positions that you have to be great in
Hmm.
to go to a Super Bowl and win Super Bowls. And Josh Allen covers all of that up, and you don't see it. And you don't smell that it kind of does smell bad until it smells bad.
And that's the question. When you think the Buffalo Bills, what's the first thing that comes to your head? Josh Allen.
Josh Allen. The first 3 things that come to my head is Josh Allen, Josh Allen, and Josh Allen.
Josh
Okay,
Allen. Yeah.
dude, like that's what I think. Absolutely.
Thank. Yeah. One, two, three. Exactly. We were on the same page on that one. 100%.
And if you want to go to a fourth, it might be James Cook, but then five, it's back to Josh Allen
Josh
too.
Allen.
Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
back to
yeah.
Josh Allen. Like
Josh Allen, Josh Allen, Josh Allen, James Cook, Josh Allen.
All
Uh,
right, cool, cool. So where did I go? Oh yeah, it got wonky on me again. So it was a lot of games this week. I'm not gonna lie to you.
A
All
lot
right,
of good games.
a lot of good games. So Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens played for the first of two games going down the stretch. Pittsburgh took this one, 27-22, in a division that looks like nobody really actually wants to win the division for some strange reason. Lamar Jackson, he was 19 and 35 for 219 yards, one touchdown, one pick. He was actually sacked two times. We had a 71 passer rating. Derrick Henry had 25 carries for 94 yards. And Keaton Mitchell had six carries for 76 yards as well. Lamar had a rushing touchdown. Zay Flowers had eight receptions for 124 yards and no touchdown. Isaiah Likely had the receiving touchdown, but he had 25 yards, and everybody else was pretty much there. Um, Now, if we're talking about their defense, they had no sacks and no picks. So going over to the Steelers, Aaron Rodgers was 23 of 34, 284 yards, one touchdown, no picks. He had 103 passer rating. They had they had very much nothing on the ground. Kenneth Gainwell had four carries for 15 yards, but he did have a touchdown. But they had literally nothing on the ground. I mean, that's
Really.
with that. DK Metcalf had seven receptions for 148 yards, no touchdowns. And Jalen Warren had 49 yards a um and a touchdown.
Yeah, challenge. Yeah.
So tell us about Steelers versus Ravens part uno.
I have to say, I did not think the Pittsburgh Steelers were going to win this game in Baltimore, first
Mm-hmm.
off. And also, the Ravens defense, I thought they would have stepped up a little more. Lamar, I have a question for you. Did you see that play with Isaiah Likely where he caught it, he took two steps, and then the ball came out and they called
Mm-hmm.
it no touchdown? What did you think about that?
I think that you have the rule is you have to complete the reception through contact. So like when you hit the
Oh,
ground in any way, so you have to do that. So making a football move or having it through the contact is what you have to do. I don't think that. Do I think it was a catch in my heyday? In our heyday, yes.
yeah,
Adjusting to the rule, he took two steps and then came out of his hands. You can't call that a touchdown anymore. You can't call
and
it a catch.
that was, I think that was a huge factor in the game. I mean, we could talk, like we went over all the stats and we can go back and forth with this division rival game because they play each other again back in Pittsburgh, and it's going to basically come down to these two teams now. So at the end of the day, it's that play was huge because if they score on that play, they take the lead.
Mhm.
And he did take two steps, and he did, and the ball came out, whatever. And then Jim Harbaugh was mad about that. And then there was another play. There was a lot of drop passes. Another pass that was dropped by Lamar. Lamar threw it to number four. I don't.
Zay
It's not a
Flowers.
big time player. Yeah. Oh yeah. That you saw that play on third. And it was a lot of missed drop plays. I mean, the Ravens look sloppy. Pittsburgh really it doesn't. It puts a bad taste in my mouth. The Steelers. I still see the Ravens winning the division.
Okay. So I did enjoy this game. Had remnants of the Steelers Ravens games that I grew to love when
Back
people were not finishing the game, okay? You was getting knocked out. That's the Steelers
yeah,
Ravens rivalry. Like the Colts and the Patriots had a rivalry. It looked a certain way. Did what it had to do. But the
feel like that.
Steelers Ravens, people were not finishing games and people were like that's oh man, so wow. So that's here nor there. I'm really shocked at how the Ravens season has gone based on what we thought about them in the off season. Coming into this
Yeah,
season, you couldn't have told me. Listen, all
that
right, this is the year Lamar gets to the Super Bowl. This looks weird, and I'm not going to tell you. Excuse me. I'm not going to lie to you. This feels weird where they are. But I don't. But to look at the Steelers and say, "Oh, I believe that now they're just going to turn the table." What evidence do we have of either team doing that? Now,
no,
I still think they're going to play again. Unless you're going to tell me that the Steelers are going to sweep the Ravens are probably going to take the next one. So we're talking
I
about
think
who's going to win against the rest of the league. And right now, somehow believe in the Ravens more playing against other teams than I do the Steelers.
Yeah, I just think
Somehow.
I agree with that take 110%. I think the Steelers are like just rice, just plain Jane. They don't have a lot going on, and the Ravens have a lot more. And I think they win I just think they win the division. I think the Steelers do not make the playoffs.
Yeah, I think yes.
Sorry, Steelers fans out there.
Hey, listen, man, Steelers. I got some Steelers fans as friends. They're quite mouthy, so I'm not feeling bad for them to be honest with you. So they're quite mouthy.
That division.
All right. Sorry about that. All right. So moving on. Moving on. So I'm actually scrolling past it. You got any thoughts on Kevin Stefanski and the Browns game? You got any thoughts on that?
Well,
Keep going.
I the thing is that they lost the game, the Cleveland Browns, but Shador should have been starting from the beginning. Daniel Gabriel had no. He's gonna be gone after the season. Would you agree?
I think he should be like. I think. All right.
Shador broke a record today, by the way.
All
Three
right. So we were. I
touchdowns.
wasn't ready. I wasn't ready to talk about it. I just wanted to hear your thoughts, but I can talk about it.
God, yeah,
Why?
God,
What
I
is
want to
his
hear from
beef?
you.
What is Kevin Stefanski's beef with Sheduer Sanders? I don't quite get it. And
Yeah,
he clearly does not like him, and I feel as though he doesn't like his personality, which goes into a much broader conversation. I felt like since he's come into the league, at certain situations, the league and now the Cleveland Browns is almost like they're trying to get back at prime time for being
yeah,
boisterous, outgoing, talented, tell
but they
you he's great,
blackballed him.
and then being great. Like he's not supposed to be that. And I've always kind of felt that way. And I don't know why they just want to hurt him so bad. But even
Tyler
when you look at
Show.
the preseason game, the only time they had a highlight in preseason was the game that, if you remember, Sheduer Sanders was playing in.
Yeah,
So now he's doing this in last so of the three games that he's played, he played in a game that he didn't have any offensive reps. He looked terrible. Cool. The other two games, he looked serviceable. He looked clear cut and far away better than every other quarterback on their roster and provided sparks that no other quarterback did. And I don't know why they're so against him. I don't let him like you took him out of the game and you need a 2 point conversion. You took him out, and that was the brilliant plan. Let's take this kid who's provided a spark out of the game with the game on the line and 2 point conversion needed. And that was the game. I don't quite understand what did he do that was so bad.
gotta that organization. He's got to go. Should do Tyler Show out of I believe he went to Louisville, correct?
Yes.
The quarterback for the Saints. Okay, he got picked and drafted before Shador. Shador got blackballed. I don't know what happened. It was Cam Ward and Shador Sanders going into the draft. I know it wasn't like to talk about this, but he broke a record today, and I mean he, with my eyes watching him, he's not a bad quarterback, and I really dislike that he is on the Cleveland Browns because that organization is like the
Has no idea what to
Washington
do with
Wizards
him.
of the NBA, NFL.
Has no idea what to do with him. That was
Yeah.
crazy that we got into that because I wasn't even that wasn't even on the list of
No,
topics that we were going to talk about. But
hey,
like
man, I love
it's
it.
crazy. Like what else do you want to do to try to break what's great
Yeah.
in him?
But it's a good take though. You have to we have to respect that and what he broke a record. So it's just
Kevin Stefanski needs to be out of there.
yeah, he's going to be fired.
Moving on, the Bears and the Packers also played today in for first place of the NFC North.
Boy,
Again, this division is going crazy. The Lions are in first place. The Bears are in first place. The Packers are in first place. This is going crazy. Um, so the Green Bay Packers did in fact win 28-21 against the Chicago Bears. Caleb Williams was 19 and 35 for 186 yards, two touchdowns. He had one pick. He had a 76 passer rating. Um, DeAndre Swift had 13 carries for 63 yards, not much on the ground. And then Luther Burton the third led them with 67 yards receiving, and Courtland Loveland had a receiving touchdown, and so did, this is a new name for me,
With Colson?
The Carson. They had another receiving touchdown. I'm not even going there.
No, I want
I'm not even
to
gonna
know
butcher my
because he was
man's
picked
name because
before
he's
he went.
probably
Sorry.
fantastic. I just can't say it yet. I need to hear it again. Just say it. So Jordan Love, he was 17 and 25 for 234 yards, three touchdowns, one pick. He also had one sack. He had 120 passer rating. Josh Jacobs had 20 carries for 86 yards and a touchdown. And CJ Watson led them with four receptions for 89 yards and two touchdowns. And Bo Melton also had a receiving touchdown. So the Packers are in first place again, man. What's going on, man? What's up?
Well, they lost Tucker Kraft, right? That was his safety
Yes, yes,
blanket.
yes.
And also, the beginning of the season, they lost their number one receiver who came back today, Jalen Reed.
Jalen
So
Reed did
now they
come
have
back. Yes.
Jalen Reed. They have Watkins. Yeah, they have Watkins. He played well too for the first game. They have Romeo Dobbs. They have Wicks. And Musgrave isn't a bad backup tight end. Their defense is legit. Micah
Hmm.
Parsons, the secondary. Um, they played great, but they let the Bears back in it.
Hmm.
And if Caleb Williams would have got that throw a little over the head of the Green Bay defender, that could have been a touchdown. And it would have went in overtime probably. But it was an interception. And Green Bay now, with that tie against Dallas, that crazy game that was like 42-40, right? Or 44-40,
Right.
40-40 in overtime, ended up a tie. So that tie helped them and gives them the division lead. And I like both teams, Green Bay and Chicago, but I think Green Bay is the better team overall.
So I think the Bears are for real, and I really do feel like the Bears are for real. Now, they're not. I don't think they're putting the game in
There's a
Caleb Williams' hands now. I'm not saying they're like disguising him or hiding him, but they're not unleashing him either. And I think that has a lot to do with it. When you look at their run packages, it's very like complex, like motion over here, motion back, come
yeah.
back here, counter going this way. I mean, pulling, like it's very complex. So I'm curious to see what they want to do with with Caleb Williams going into the playoffs with a very good defense, very good running game. Receivers that I think are good, could be better, but I think they have good receivers. Now with the
Uh,
Packers,
can I say, can I say something on that? Romeo, Odunze, he didn't play today.
Roma Dunze did not play today. No.
Yeah. And then also, I want to give a shout out to Ben Johnson. I mean, what he did with this team turning around.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I talked more about the Packers than I talked about
The
I mean I
Bears.
talked
I
to
get it. I get
Packers.
it. I get it. I get it. It's what jumped in your head. That's the beautiful
Yeah,
thing about this show. We don't script anything. So
yeah,
how it comes out is just how it came out.
yeah. We just
So So yeah, so I listen. I want to love the Packers. I really want to love the Packers. The one thing that they responded to
don't say the
against the
Packers.
Bears, but the thing that they did against the Bears, they showed a fight. But this is a team that they should show a fight against because they know them. They play each other. I sometimes when I look at the Packers, they just look soft. Um, but they're so talented. They're good at so many plays. Like this was like my dark horse team, and I feel like very let down about them. Now, this stat line for Jordan Love, 17 to 25, 25 passes. That is what the key for success will be. If you ever see the Packers throwing 30 times or 35 times, know something is going wrong and they're about to lose. I'm telling you, for a couple quarterbacks, it's like that. Jordan Love,
100%.
listen, for Jordan Love, for Lamar Jackson, and that was the one thing I hate. If you looked at Lamar Jackson's pass attempts, he threw for like 39 times. That's not what you do with these quarterbacks. There's a
Start
platform.
the run, open the play action for the
Yes,
pass.
there's a way that you use and utilize these quarterbacks, and this is what I love. I loved what I saw from them. This is opening up a really crazy NFC playoffs. I don't know
I
who.
love
Like,
it.
there's a lot of matchups and teams and ways that teams can play that's going to be like, you know what? When you look at the Packers today, you say they could come out of the NFC.
Yeah,
They could, and
they
I wanna
could.
believe in it, and I wanna love them. I need to see them instrict fear into somebody else. You know what I mean? I need teams to be scared of something on their
Consistency,
roster.
consistency as well.
Consistency, yeah, but like I'm just saying, like I need them to be scared of. So I need to be like, I'm not going across the middle because I'm not getting hit like that over there. I can't do something over there, period, because
Yeah,
the Packers can stop. That's what I'm looking. I need them to show I'm scared. Josh Jacobs is there. I gotta put 8 in the
I
box,
get what you
or
said. Yeah,
this is going to go bad. Like that's what I'm saying. I need them to inflict fear into other teams, and I that's what I'm waiting to see from them.
yeah. No, Josh Jacobs has been crushing it. He's doing great.
Hmm.
So, I
All
mean,
right,
they got the talent.
they definitely have the talent. They definitely have the talent.
Yeah.
All right, so I think we're going to let's stop it there, but let's take
Oh,
five because this whole
cool.
thing is going to cut in about like 3 minutes, and we ain't gonna get through the next game in 3 minutes. I can tell you that right now.
What's the next game?
Oh, that's the Texans and Chiefs. A very exciting game to me. I love defensive games, but I'm a little weird when it comes to stuff like that. The Houston Texans did beat the Kansas City Chiefs, man. They beat them. They won 20-10 against the Kansas City Chiefs. So, starting with the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, he was 14 to 33, 160 yards, no touchdowns, and 3 picks. He had a 19.8 passer rating. He also had 7 carries for 59 yards, which led them in rushing. And Kareem Hunt had a rushing touchdown. Xavier Worthy had 3 receptions for 55 yards, and that led them in receiving. And Hollywood Brown also had 1 reception for 35 yards, but that's here nor there. So then defensively, they had 3 sacks defensively. They didn't have any picks. So CJ Stroud, he was 15 to 31, 203 yards, 1 touchdown, no picks. He had an 80.4 passer rating. The really good rookie, Jaquavius Marks. He had 26 carries for 68 yards. Let's see. Um, Dare Dare Ngubawale. Sorry about
I know
the
Higgins.
but these names are outrageous to me now.
He's
He had a he had
a,
a he had a rushing touchdown. But
that was
Nico, go ahead.
that last touchdown. I didn't even know who he was.
Yep, yep. Nico Collins, he
That
had
running
four
back.
receptions. He had 4 receptions for 121 yards. He did not have many receptions. I mean, he didn't have any touchdowns. Jaquavius Marks actually had the receiving touchdown as well. So, what happened in this game, man? What happened? Just tell me.
Defense to Houston is a top tier defense in the league. We know that. And Kansas City Chiefs, this might be the first time in a long time they don't make the playoffs. Like you were talking about to me earlier, the Chargers, they win a couple games and Chiefs are out. And that's going to be, the NFL wants Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs in the playoffs.
Hmm.
That's a fact.
Hmm.
But CJ Stroud stepped up to the plate today,
Hmm.
and he had a great game. The defense stepped up, the offense stepped up, and I remember talking to you. I texted you and I said, this is a horrible decision on Andy
Yep.
Reid to go for it when their defense is playing well.
They were
10-10, a
scared.
defensive battle game, and they go for it. And look what happened
Yeah.
when their
And they
defense was
got a
playing
touchdown
well
off of them.
anyway.
They were scared. The Chiefs were
Basically
scared.
gave them the game.
The Chiefs were scared. Okay.
while
So
their defense was playing well.
yeah. So first of all, shout out to
Crazy.
the Texans, man. Texans, whew, the Texans, man. I'm gonna be real with you. I got to take a second and third look at them in these AFC playoffs. They're gonna mess up. Listen to me. There's a couple teams in the playoffs that are going to be 1, 2, and 3 seeds. They don't want to play the Texans. And that's exactly what I wanted to see from them this game. This was
No.
a playoff game. This was a playoff environment. No, what like they didn't. It didn't look like it was over their heads. It looked like they were right where they were supposed to be. They looked like the better team. And like I've been saying all year, they have the best
Oh,
defense in the NFL. The Houston Texans have the best defense in the NFL. They might have to move into that sleeper Super Bowl conversation for me, man. Like why can't they come out of the AFC? Why can they not come out of the AFC? That's my question.
uh,
Everybody, I know this is new. I know this is setting up, but with that defense, with two legitimate pass rushers, offensive line that's no longer a problem, and CJ Stroud, who is a premier, let's say there's not 10 quarterbacks better than CJ Stroud. There's not 10. So a top 10 quarterback, why can they not come out of the AFC with momentum going down the stretch?
can they
That's
beat
my question.
can they beat Denver? Can they beat Denver in Denver?
That game, it's not completely no. It's not completely no, but it's not yes neither.
This is a question.
I'd have to
This is
see
a
it.
question.
But what I'm saying is I'd have to see it. That's where I'm at with it now.
I
I'd have to
agree
see
with
that.
you. I agree with you. I think the Texans are coming to Higgins. I mean, like he's just starting to play great too.
I got a
They're
better
just
question for you.
making
I got a better question
good.
for you. And here's where we're gonna rattle some feathers. Can they go into Buffalo and beat Buffalo in the playoffs?
That, hold on. That's a great question. I think that that's even a better question. I was thinking Denver,
Do
New
you
England
see
because
where
they're
I'm
the
at
top
now? It's
dogs.
not as
And
much yes or no. You just got to see it. But
yeah, yeah, you know
why
what?
can't they?
You just, you just yeah, you just proved your point. Good take. Good take.
CJ Stroud
Yeah.
don't have to be great for them to win. He does not have to be great for them to win.
No, he's got the weapons and the defense.
That's all I'm saying. Continue what you were saying.
Stroud, Stroud was a, I don't know if he's a top 10 quarterback. He's a top 15 in my opinion. I can name 10. I'm not going to do that right now, but yeah. I mean when he was, on fire when he was first coming out, I think he had a little slump. He was a top 10 quarterback, but a couple guys came in like Jaden Daniels,
Hmm.
whatever,
Hmm.
Herbert,
Hmm.
but he's in the mix, yes, and he's
Okay.
playing at a higher
That's
level,
all I'm going to say.
and yeah.
Now,
So I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. You got me with that Buffalo Bills one. That was great. I gotta admit. But
so
great
the Buffalo
question.
Bills are definitely going to be in the playoffs, by the way. So, so yeah, for the Chiefs, man, I'm not saying this effectively eliminates them. They
But
still have a chance. So I'm gonna keep the whole take that I have because we have another segment that revolves around them. But I would not say that they have a 0% chance of making the playoffs, and it's kind of substantial. The heartbeat is still there. They're not dead. They're not dead yet. With that said, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm kind of tired of looking at the Chiefs how they are now. Like I've watched for the last like 4 years of them struggle and grind and piece this together and you know what I mean and figure it out. And now it's just not going their way anymore. And that doesn't change what I feel like. I still feel like situationally still the greatest team I've ever seen ever situationally. When they give them 4 quarters to figure out where they can exploit you and you don't want them to, it's not in the initial coming into the game thing. It's the on the thing, okay, if we match this up like this, they're not going to be able to stop that and then attack you that way. I've never seen a team in history attack you that way. And they've won so many games, one score games because of that. I'm just tired of looking. I'm tired of acting like this is a good roster. It's not a good roster. Even when they won the Super Bowls, it's not a good roster. It's not. They don't have a pass rush. There's defense. Trey McDuffie, like you know what I'm saying. He's good. He's very good. I'm not gonna say he's great. He's very good. But But Trent McDuffie is there's better cornerbacks than him. Let's
Is
put it
the
to you that way.
dynasty,
Um, and also, and
is the dynasty over?
hold on. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I was actually gonna land a plane there. I actually like their wide receivers. They definitely had the dropsies. This offensive line needs a little bit of work. I think they need new running backs. um, I think so. Is the dynasty over?
Like,
Is this version of the dynasty over? I say yes. And the reason I say yes is because Travis Kelsey, he needs to go ahead and retire at this point, man. This is it. This is it. I don't need to see him anymore. He's more of the reason they lost this game more than that decision was the reason they lost this game. He had one catch, and down the stretch, he had two drops. One of them resulted in a pick that sealed the game. The other one was like on third down. And I mean, Patrick Mahomes is like this. The only time I felt this bad for Patrick Mahomes was when they played Tampa Bay in the Super Bowl, and both his offensive tackles were out again playing against them. Like I just feel so bad for him. Like
yeah.
nobody is getting like this is worse than Josh Allen in Buffalo for me. And Patrick Mahomes figuring out how to win with this is immaculate. And I know this is going to be a like a little check mark on, or not check mark, but like a little slash, an X on his resume going into like a GOAT conversation because he's going to probably miss the playoffs. But man, like, yeah, this version of Dynasty has to be over. It can't come back. Like, it's like even like the play calling, it's like old and. It's like it's not like the defenses are more advanced than this play calling style is
It's like a
allowing it
rerun.
to be. Like the offensive coordinator needs to go.
It's just like
Like there's so much stuff
it's just
that
like a
has to
rerun.
fundamentally the philosophy has to change. So to answer your question, yes, the this version of the Chiefs dynasty is over. Does that mean that they don't get back to that point? I'm not going to say that just yet. But this version of a Travis Kelsey needs to be the first one out the door now.
I'm gonna say they guarantee that they do not get in the playoffs this season. I'm gonna
I'm not. I'm
on
not. I'm not
on
ready to say it
record.
till it happens. Until it says Kansas City Chiefs not in the playoffs, I'm not ready to say it. But I completely understand what you're saying. Go ahead.
The record's tough. I mean, their next four games isn't easy. They have two tough opponents and one okay and one easy one.
Okay.
Chargers have one tough game and three. So I mean, it's a slight chance. How about that? I'll give it that.
No, it's
I'm
okay.
with you.
It's okay to make a statement. You got to make your statement. You said absolutely not. I understand where that
Yeah.
comes from. All right, cool. So that was week 14.
Yeah.
So I want to know. We need. We're at this point in the season. We need to know before it happens who's going to get in and who's going to be out. Now I know I gave you the AFC teams first, but we're going to go over to the
Yeah.
NFC first. Okay, sir. They throw a little curveball in
I
there.
like that. Switch it up. Yeah, I like it.
So let's start with something that's probably a little bit easier to see now. The Dallas Cowboys. Are they in or are they out of the playoffs?
They are 100% out.
Okay.
I mean, what, 8% chance? If they would beat Detroit, my answer would have been they have a chance. They lost to Detroit. Their chances, they blew their chances. They were hot. Now they're not. So, I mean, no, absolutely not.
Yeah, too much has to happen for them to
No.
get into the playoffs. Too many losses have to transpire. I'm in agreement. Dallas Cowboys, you are out.
Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
So, all right, I'm gonna go straight over here. San Francisco 49ers. Are they in or are they out?
Now, this is a team that's interesting, right? They're in the NFC West. You got Seattle, and Seattle's and the Rams. And if last time I was on with you, we talked about the Los Angeles Rams. They came back to life, right? This week they played great.
Mhm.
Now they're great. They're number one, and Seattle and the Rams are right there. San Fran. I believe they get in the playoffs and they are that final seventh spot. Eagles win the division, Green Bay, Chicago, whoever wins that NFC, we'll get into that when you go over that. And then, yes, I'm going to say yes, the San Francisco 49ers get in the playoffs and get that seventh spot.
Okay. I'm saying San Francisco 49ers do not make it in the playoffs this year. And I'm calling it.
Wow. We got to
I'm
go.
saying,
Wow.
I'm saying, listen, when you look at their schedule, right? When you look at their schedule, because now I said I was gonna look at it as we were going. So they have the Titans and the Colts. They'll win both of those games. Okay. I expect that to happen.
Yeah,
But then,
that puts them at,
yeah, they still have four losses.
no, no, go.
But then they got the Bears, who will need the game. And then they got the Seahawks, again, who will need the game. Now, when they played earlier, the 49ers won that game. I am not the 49ers will not sweep the Seahawks. And they
I
probably
agree.
need that game. So that's one loss. So the conversation is wrapped around, do they get two
The Bears.
losses to the Bears who need that? And I think they get that loss too.
Uh, if I'm with you on that, I don't. I think San Fran can beat Chicago. I mean, they're two good coaches going against each other,
They could.
and
They could.
I mean, it could go either way. And
But
San Fran home,
at that point you understand that game is for getting into the playoffs now. It's not
yeah,
for the division. Like, the Bears could effectively lose that game and not make the playoffs completely.
that would be if Detroit when we get to that. But
We'll get to
if
that. But I'm just saying
is
there's a
that game home or
scenario.
what?
There's a pretty
Yeah,
strong scenario in which the Bears losing that game eliminates them from the playoffs too. So that's what I'm adding
absolutely.
into
Yeah.
this equation.
Who's the home team in that game? In that Chicago San Fran game?
This game is in San Fran.
So the two games that we said that we like San Fran, I agree with you that Seattle will not get swept.
Hmm.
If it's in San Fran, I like them at home.
I understand.
So
I understand.
I still think they're the seventh seed,
I
and
understand.
the
I'm saying 49ers out of there. So moving on. So let's go with the Detroit Lions. Do you have the Detroit Lions in or out of the playoffs?
I want to hear what you say about this one first. I want to hear your take on this, honestly.
Oh, I absolutely have the Detroit Lions in the playoffs.
Wow.
So here's the remaining their schedule. So and their games are pretty substantial too. They
Home
have
or
the
away?
they have the Rams this week. Even if they end up losing that game, right? Let's say they drop it to the Rams. They got the
Okay.
Steelers, the Vikings, and then the Bears week 18.
What if the Bears need that game, like you said, week 18?
Well,
Division game?
so now we're having the conversation about the Bears losing to the 49ers and the Lions.
Yeah.
I'm saying they would probably lose
So you're saying
to the
that
Lions.
the Lions get the seventh and San Fran gets knocked out.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I've been trying to get you to get this information to you. What
Okay,
Denzel
so
say?
I'm
I've been trying
saying,
to. What Denzel say in Fences? I've been trying to tell you the best way I know how.
dude, no, I'm catching it. I'm catching it. I'm just saying, I'm on the other side where the Lions, man, this is tough because it's a lot with the Eagles that the NFC South is so bad division. So one bad team gets in, and then you have the Seahawks, and then you have the Rams. Um, yeah, I mean Green Bay and Chicago. So it comes down to literally that seventh spot, Detroit or San Fran. You're saying Detroit, I'm saying San Fran.
Now, what would you say? Now, here's where my crazy comes in. What would you say if I told you they was about to beat the Rams this week too? Now, I gave a scenario if they lost. I think they about to beat the Rams this week, regardless. So that's what I really feel. So, So now they don't need
Detroit,
to. Now they may not need week 18 to get into the playoffs. To be honest with you.
they're saying that the Rams are going to lose this game to Detroit.
Yes, I am.
We'll see who's correct, but I'm going to go with my LA Rams.
I understand, but the Lions need this more than the Rams do. And talent is comparable. But Detroit needs this game more than
Absolutely. They need it more, but also on the other hand, Seattle and LA are head to head right in that NFC West.
well,
So if
yeah,
LA, yeah, no,
I understand.
I definitely get where you're coming from.
I understand what you're
Detroit
saying.
needs it. Who needs it more? The Detroit Lions. So
And
it's
I'm
a
going with that.
must-win
I'm
game.
going with that. That's a gut feeling, but I'm going with that.
No, I definitely understand that. I'm going to say LA Rams have all around a better. You want to know why I'll say the LA Rams? The defense. Their defense is way better than Detroit's. Detroit has some um, sw like Swiss cheese in it, little holes in it all around the defense, and LA can score. Kyron Williams, Puka Nacua. I mean, Devontae Adams, they're just all over. Stafford's having an MVP
Okay.
season. So, yeah.
So we'll see. All right, cool. So the final team on this NFC side of this, the Carolina Panthers. Are they in or are they out?
They are out.
Okay.
They this is this is just a Rams team losing to the Panthers. That was bizarre. Stafford hasn't thrown two interceptions since I believe 2023 or was it yeah, it was January 2023. He's had what was it, 28 touchdowns since he's only had like three interceptions all season, and he had 28 straight touchdown passes without an interception. And he threw two that game, and they only lost by three, and they had another turnover. So the Panthers get back in it. Like I said, Rico, Downwell, and Hubbard, and then Bryce Young looks a lot better. The rookie receiver, was say McMillan, right?
Tedero McMillan, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. That helps out. So they have the run game, but I think it depends on the Bucks. I mean, also the Buccaneers. Can they get in? Yes. Yeah. Their their secondary is amazing. Horn.
Mhm.
So yeah, they can get in. It's between them and the Tampa Bay
Yes.
Buccaneers.
Yes. The only way they're getting in is through the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
So I was queued up to basically say this whole time to be determined. And I really didn't have an answer. But when I said
Yeah.
that very last statement, their only way in is through the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I lean towards the
Wrong.
Carolina Panthers being out. But they
Yeah.
played twice. The reason I was so unsure is because they played twice still. So they haven't played each other at all. So they played
But
twice.
I love that. But I love that you put the Panthers on there because, I mean, who thought that we'd be talking about the Carolina Panthers right now?
This is a mystery to all of us, trust me. But like so the Bucks, they have the Falcons on Thursday coming off of a bye. I expect them to win that game. Then they have the Panthers two of the last three, and then they have the Dolphins, whereas the Panthers have the Seahawks. And I think they have the easier path. So yeah, I think that made it clear when I made the statement. I'm telling you the truth. The whole time I was unclear up until that
But the
statement.
Buccaneers lost to the Saints today.
I understand.
But anything can happen at this point.
I understand.
So when can the Panthers make the playoffs? Absolutely. That division is the worst division in the league.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's not close. It's not even
Come
close.
on. So I mean, at the end of the day, can the Panthers make the playoffs? Yes.
Okay. All
But
right.
will
Cool.
they? Like you said, TBD.
All right. So let's go over to the AFC side. So let's also get with some low hanging fruit. The Indianapolis Colts. Are they in or are they out?
Daniel Jones didn't get hurt and didn't have these injuries. I would say they were hot in the beginning of the season. Jonathan Tower was looking like this the Saquon Barkley of last season, and now they can shut down the run because they don't have a quarterback.
Mhm.
So I'm going to say they are out.
Okay. The Indianapolis Colts are in a real big crisis going
What?
in. A real big crisis. You didn't let me finish. See, this
No,
is all going bad.
no.
This is all going bad. Listen, the
Oh,
Indianapolis
this is
Colts
your
may not
heart
win another
speaking. This
game.
is your heart. This is your heart.
My Colts
This is
may not
your
win
heart.
another game this whole year, bro. Listen, we got a lot. Even with
Oh.
and listen, even with Daniel Jones staying there, I still would have probably said out. Even with Daniel Jones playing, I still would have been like, I don't think we're gonna make the playoffs. It's kind of figured out. Like Daniel Jones, and once again, how he played, like he showed a lot of heart. But the ceiling started revealing itself. Like he was having not bad games, and it clearly not being enough for us to win.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
um,
yeah,
yeah, the jig was kind of up. So that's kind of how I felt. So
yeah. Yeah.
I had to get you with that. All
That
right,
was a good one.
all right, cool. So the Bills, the Buffalo Bills, are they in?
100%. 100% in.
Hundred
That's
percent in. Hundred
in.
percent. They're gonna do it. They're gonna look good this last month of the season. They're gonna look good. I believe that. Um,
The inconsistency is going to stop.
yes, for the last month of the season, yes. Okay, that was pretty easy. Um, so let's go with the Houston Texans. Are they in
I
or are
like
they out?
you go with that first. I want
Man,
to
they're
hear
a
a take
hundred.
on.
They're 100% in, and I really feel like, listen, I'm really having a conversation with myself. Like, all right, Houston in Buffalo, how do I feel? Houston in Denver, how do I feel? Houston in New England, how do I feel? And that's really where I'm at. And I'm like,
it.
they could lose to any one of those teams, but they could beat any one of those teams. I
Oh,
don't know, like so, but yeah, I think they're going to mess up somebody's playoff seeding.
so you got New England, you got Denver. It, um,
I'll put it to you this way.
whoever wins,
I'll put it to you this way.
whoever wins the
If
North,
I'll put it to you this way, if New England,
they can be the 7th seed.
if they're going into New England,
They
I'm
can
picking
win.
the Texans. If they're going into New
Yeah.
England, I'm picking the Texans.
So a little earlier when I said, "Can they beat Denver?" and you said, "Yeah." I mean, when I thought about it at first, I was like, their defense, their offense, their weapons they have, Stroud, top 15, whatever quarterback, right?
Mhm.
Can they make the playoffs? Absolutely. And you made your take, and your take made me think about it again. And yes, they can make the playoffs. And yes, they probably can beat any of these teams. Like when you say, can they go into Buffalo and win? I don't know. But Buffalo don't, they haven't really have a good playoff, history. So yeah, they can. Absolutely.
Okay. Okay. Cool. So Texans, we both agree. Texans in the playoffs. Okay.
Defense wins championships.
Okay. So so the question of the night. Chiefs in the playoffs, out of the playoffs.
Man, this is crazy because the league wants Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs in the playoffs. The record's now what, 6-7?
Hmm.
They have to win every game going forward, basically, to get into the playoffs.
Yep.
And the next 4 games, their probability of getting in the playoffs is like around probably 38%. I mean, probably lower actually
No, their
after the
current
loss.
their current percentage playoff probability percentage is 15%.
Yeah, so it was 38 going into tonight, and then after the loss, and
Hmm.
now it's 15. So, man, it's crazy to say this, but they're out. It's
Mm,
crazy to say, but they're out.
mm. I understand what you're saying. So
It's hard to say.
so the charge I mean, so the Chiefs have one path into the playoffs, and that is through the Chargers.
Yeah, I
Who
agree.
they play, by the way, to going down the stretch. So the Chargers remain in schedule. They have the Eagles tomorrow. They have then they have the Chiefs. Then they have the Cowboys. Then they have the Texans, and then they have the Broncos. That's the Chargers' remaining schedule.
Kinda
So
like a
so
good
so
team.
when you say do they have a chance? I'm looking at it. All right. So going back. I don't expect the Chiefs to lose anymore this year. I'm being honest with you. So it's not that they're just going to go on this crazy run and stuff. It's a little bit more
Yeah,
logical. They play the Chargers and the Broncos. They lost to both of them earlier in
yeah.
the year. I expect them to come back and beat both of them.
Okay, that's
Okay.
fair.
So that's
Yeah,
two. Then it's like the Raiders. And I think it's like the Titans is their other game. So I don't
yeah.
expect them to lose another
But
game. So now the thing is
with the Chargers,
they're how many games behind the Chargers? So the Chargers got 4 losses and they got 7. The Chargers play tomorrow. So they're
yeah.
probably more than likely going to have um 2 games up on them. Even if it's 3, I think the Chargers are going to fall through, man. They could lose all of those games. The Chargers could lose all of those games. Do I think they're going to lose all
The
those games?
Browns,
No, they're not playing the Browns. The
it's kind of like
Chargers the Chargers are playing the Chargers are playing the Eagles tomorrow. Then they have the Chiefs. Then they have the Cowboys, the Texans, and the Broncos. Week week
oh,
18.
I thought you said the Browns. Yeah, they can lose out all those games, but
And
they
that's what I'm
also
saying.
can
I'm
win.
looking at this and I'm like, well, the Chiefs can. I kind of am thinking that they are going to win the rest of their games.
Chiefs have
The,
the easier
the Chargers
schedule.
could lose all of those games. So I'm still putting the Chiefs in. I'm still putting the Chiefs in. I'm still putting the Chiefs in.
It's crazy, and I respect it though. I respect it, and it like I said, for me, when you ask me, it's just crazy saying that the Chiefs not making the playoffs. So when you break it down like that, yes, the Chiefs have a 15% chance, like you said, but the Chargers can win these games just as much as they can lose these games.
Hmm. So
Yeah.
you said a very key word there: consistency. You said that probably about 4 times this episode. Consistency. That's what we're
Well,
talking
it's
about with
been
the
a
Chargers.
lot. It's been a lot with the Chargers, the Bills. A lot of teams have been non-consistent.
I'm
And
saying they're losing. Okay, they're losing at least 2 of these games. Okay, so of outside of tomorrow, they're definitely losing 2. I'm saying they're going to lose 3.
who can I ask this? Who wins tomorrow? Herbert's a tough guy. Played last
The
year
Eagles are going to win. The Eagles are going to win. I'm picking the Eagles. That's that. Like you know why? Because the Eagles have looked bad the last like month,
it was
and they've
horrible.
and they've dropped 2 straight. This looks they're not going to no, they're not dropping 3 straight games. Sorry.
Herbert's tough. It's his left hand.
I get it. I'm not speaking on Justin Herbert right now. I'm speaking on the fact that
Okay.
Philadelphia the defending Super Bowl champions look trash
Yeah.
and 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 they've lost the last 2 games and I'm like, you telling me the Eagles are going to lose 3 games straight? I'm not seeing it.
Yeah.
So,
I
I'm
agree.
thinking the Eagles are going to win. The Eagles.
Yeah. All right.
So, I'm
No,
saying
I'm
they're
with you.
going to lose minimum 2 games. I expect three losses down the stretch and that gets the Chiefs in.
That's crazy, right? Though to think about that, that the Chiefs
I
are
mean, 10-7 can get you in the playoffs. I mean, 10-7, that's respectable. You know what I mean,
uh,
so
unbelievable.
so that pretty much also concludes the Chargers because we would flip on that topic right there. So I think we leaving
Yeah.
it on that cliff note is actually a pretty good place to leave it. To be honest with you.
Exactly. Yeah, with Chiefs and Chargers, we broke down both teams at the same time.
Hmm.
Yeah.
All right, man. So Mike, how you feeling about this episode, man? We about to wrap this up. How you feeling about
And
this episode?
it was great, and I appreciate you bringing me on every time, and I think we crush it, man. Yeah,
I kind of agree with you. I tend to agree with you. And with
we
that
have a
said,
great game.
With that said, catch the full episodes on Spotify and YouTube. Catch the reels on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We all over the place. Mike, you came in and dropped heat today, my boy. Unfortunately, I got to give you some water and tell you, cuz you don't know football. I appreciate you as always, man.